What game is easy to learn but also very satisfying to play? Portal. The mechanics are easy to learn, but there are no two puzzles that are the same. It also has one of the best tutorials of any game ever. If you listen to the commentary, it's insane how much intent is behind the first levels, before you get the gun. Like how they force you to understand that there is no ingoing color or outgoing color. Something that their early playtesters had an issue with, and stuff like that. It's simple, but it's masterful. The first Plants vs. Zombies. It's such a great game and so astonishing how much the microtransaction greed destroyed the second part. I'm still pissed about how awful PvZ2 was. The first was a masterpiece in one of my favorite genres, the tower defense. Second game was nearly impossible to play without spending money. I hated it. Keep talking and nobody explodes. Requires 2 people and can really challenge your communication skills. Helps a ton if you already know Morse code, but you can stumble your way through regardless. Careful, this game can ruin relationships. It's akin to stealing your girlfriend's star in Mario Party. Greater than it's akin to stealing your girlfriend's star in Mario Party. Played Mario Party for the first time the other day. Did exactly this. She took it well. Much better than when we play Overcooked together. I really like ** Love Letter **. It's a card game with 16 cards total. You have a card and on your turn you draw one and decide which of the 2 you're going to play. You're trying to get the best card by the end of a short round by deducing which card the other players have by playing your card. Space Cadet Pinball. Minesweeper. If you can stomach a paragraph of reading, it's ridiculously easy to learn. Greater than. If you can stomach a paragraph of reading, it's ridiculously easy to learn. You're asking way too much from me. I learned Minesweeper through trial and error. It's actually really simple once you know what the numbers actually mean. Any Katamari game, the only controls are the joysticks and you start out with this very small ball and have to slowly build ball by running over stuff. You go from basically mouse size to absorbing a planet throughout the game. Slime Rancher. It's rough to manage the range before you start using bees. But the mechanics are basic to any FPS gamer, and the feeling when you have the ranch running like clockwork is fucking amazing. I played this maybe a couple years ago or so and it didn't seem like there was much to do. Is there more to it now? It got updated several times since early access versions. Tetris Edit. I never really expected this to spark up a conversation, but okay. The new Tetris 99 is so fun to play, but I still can't figure out the targeting system. Want me to explain them? Minecraft to an extent. You need a minor bit of knowledge on how to start. That first day you need to punch trees to make planks to make a workbench. But once you know that, a massive sandbox game opens up to you. Build stuff that you think is cool. Play with friends. Kill the Ender Dragon. Mod the ever-living bejesus out of it. The options are dizzying. As to why it isn't necessarily easy to learn, there is a lot in the game. Redstone specifically, that borderline requires a minor in computer science to properly understand. The good news is Redstone is a late-game optional thing that can make your life easier and does some neat stuff, but is far from required to pick up. Mojang. Okay, so there is this redstone thing. Here's a redstone torch, a repeater, a comparator, a dropper, a daylight detector, a hopper and some lamps. With these things you can make doors that open themselves, lights that turn on when it's dark, or a furnace that melts all the stuff you want automatically. Players. We made a 16-bit computer. Also Mojang. Here's some square blocks of different colors. Players. I made a scale model of Minas Tirith. Also Mojang. Here are some black blocks. Don't think they do anything special though. Players. We opened a portal to hell. Also Mojang. Here are some blocks that make a sound if you power them, monsieur. Players. We made Beethoven's for Elise. Edit for accents. Also Mojang. We have a survival mechanic built in where you can farm for food. Herd cattle. and create a food source for your home. Players. We built a 100-acre auto farm capable of making enough food to solve the world hunger crisis in 15 minutes. Also Mojang. We added blocks that can run commands. Players. We recreated Pokemon R&B in Minecraft. I'm a big fan of social deduction board games, where someone hides their identity and you need to figure out who they are. These games often are characterized by simultaneous simplicity and convoluted strategy, as the rules are easy to learn but the game varies based on bluffing and manipulation. Some good ones are Secret Hitler, Donner Dinner Party, 2 Rooms and a Boom, 1 Night Werewolf, Coup, Bang, Crossfire, Resistance, Avalon. I highly recommend you check these out. All are fantastic party games that are short and easy to play but are increasingly complicated in strategy based on the skills of people playing. A good session of any of these will result in a lot of fun and argument, and an overall good time. Stardew Valley. Edit. The game is hard to play if you want to do it perfectly. But if you just want to discover a beautiful world, listen to soothing music, and play casually, it's easy and relaxing. Video games aren't always about completing everything. Edit. Oh wow, a silver. Very nice, but I cannot melt this down and make farm equipment out of it. Pipe. Stardew Valley is easy to play, but I wouldn't call it easy to learn. There's an official guide, and most players at one point have a bunch of tabs open because there's a lot of research. It feels a little bad when you need something and find out it's only available the previous season. RuneScape. If you feel like being dragged into the pit of hell, willingly sacrificing the next 5,000 hours of your life to the RNG gods. Very basic games at the heart of it though. 10 out of 10 with dopamine again. See how long you can keep your hand in the waffle iron is fun. My record is 30 minutes. Very different game than keep your hand in the waffle iron that is plugged in and turned on. Chess. It's not very hard to learn how the pieces can move and it's fun to play. Conversely, the better you and your opponent get, the harder it becomes. I agree. Although there's a certain stage of chess where it becomes insanely difficult to learn, as the game moves from being about analysis of piece value and board state and instead is purely about memorization. As a kid I loved playing chess, but as I got better and reached that point I lost all interest. It becomes an entirely different game, one that suddenly no longer met my personal idea of fun. It felt like being punished for improving. Any Kirby game ever. If not that, then Shovel Knight. The campaign for Spectre Knight is my favorite because his play style is super freaking flowy, but it kinda makes bosses too easy. Recently me and my brothers figured out how to play Kirby Air Ride on PC online with each other. Rocket League is one of those games that is easy to learn, but hard to master. I've introduced friends to it that don't normally like a lot of video games and have gotten them hooked on it. Yeah, there's a huge gap between competent and actually good. I am firmly just below competent most of the time and it's still fun. Solitaire. It can be just something to do with a deck of cards while waiting. There are also about 100 different versions of Solitaire, so you always have different games to learn with. Usually, the same principles and win conditions. You'll lose a lot of games at the start, but when you get those first few wins, it's very satisfying. When you get good at it, you can also introduce your friends, family to a multiplayer speed solitaire game called Nerds, and kick ass in it. Euro Truck Simulator 2. Just put on a radio, favorite album or audiobook and let the road swallow you. Or a digital lot lizard. I don't understand the appeal of the realistic simulator games, but I'm glad people enjoy them. Monsieur. My pops was a truck driver for 30 plus years. He's since retired and occasionally, he gets bored managing his lawn and he wishes he was out on the road. That's where American Truck Simulator comes in. He's able to drive the trucks he drove IRL but in the comfort of his home. The whole idea about realism is that you can get immersed in its easy, simple little things like, oh shit, the CIGARRETE lighters are in the same spot. Rewally help with the immersion. Disc golf, get out there and just enjoy it. Hollow Knight, very easy to learn because of simple and straightforward mechanics. But it will eventually kick your ass. Just not right away. It's very good at steadily increasing the difficulty as you go. Also very, very satisfying when you play it well. The later bosses can feel like a choreographed dance when you get the patterns down. That dance feeling is one of the most amazing feelings in the game. I swear, the Mantis Lords and Hornet, when you just get in the rhythm, monsieur. Absolutely beautiful gameplay. I'm so excited for Silksong and will absolutely pre-order if I can. Team Cherry has more than proved they deserve it. Mario Kart, because there's no wrong way to beat a child. Trackmania, once you get used to the driving methods, it becomes very satisfying. At the risk of sounding basic, The Sims is incredibly fun and rewarding, which is why once I pick it up I can't stop playing for weeks. Edit. Words. I can only play it every once in a great while, because if I start it, I fall into a minimum 3-day Sims hole, and it's all I do. Damn, I love that game. Civ 5. On an easy difficulty, your play doesn't need to be good, and you can spend time listening to the advisors reading the descriptions of units or buildings to make sense of the game. Very satisfying too. He said easy, not life-ruining. Got it. Single quote. So good for pre-drinks and road trips. In a group of friends, you guess through word association to try and get a jinx with somebody else in the group. I'll break it down with a quick example. I say got it when I think of the first word to kick off the game. It can be anything. My friend also comes up with a first word and says got it. We then say 3.2.1, and then simultaneously I say pineapple and he says C. Then the group thinks about what they think the next word will be, that the previous two words remind them of, because my friend and I are on the same wavelength and know what the other one will be thinking. We say got it, 3, 2, 1, and simultaneously say SpongeBob. Then we high-five as we've won that round. If I'm playing with my dad, I say SpongeBob and he say Tropics. Then we brainstorm about what the next word will be. Eventually we get it. It feels like missing high-fives over and over until you finally get one, and then it's really satisfying. Also, it's funny what people think of Bloons Tower Defense 5 and Bloons Tower Defense Battles. Animal Crossing, New Leaf. That reminds me, I am out of time for this thread. Okay, now I gotta go back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS. Russian Roulette. 5 out of 6 people say that Russian Roulette is completely safe. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. This is the only game I've ever played that brought me so much amazement. The physics are astounding. If you think it's possible, it probably is. It shapes your mind with the subtle hints in an area you had no idea how to beat early game. You'll come back later and instantly connect the dots. Not because you've been through something like it, but because you learn that almost anything is doable. Such an amazing game. It's a great game, but I would not call it easy to learn at all. If you hand it to someone experienced with games in general, then yes-ish. Though to give it to someone with zero gaming experience, like never held a controller ever, Zelda is too much too soon. Sudoku, cribbage, it's simple, easy, and gets done in 10 minutes. Hide the salami. Skyrim and Pokémon. Pokémon is a great mix of fun and complexity. Pokémon is cool because you can play it very simply and beat it, or you can get really into the metagame and also beat it. Steep, easy to play, hard to master, a lot of challenges, and a very nice feeling when you play. 2048, the new Spider-Man game on PS4. I thought it was pretty easy to learn and play. It was also the game that really got me into gaming. I'm playing it now after not played a non-sport game in 10 plus years. It's great. fighting controls remind me of Ninja Gaiden. Web slinging is so fun. I rarely use fast travel. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.